For decades, Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire have stood as the twin pillars of the global cocoa industry, their lush plantations yielding over 65% of the world's cocoa supply. Yet, despite their immense contribution to the $100 billion chocolate market, these two West African nations have historically reaped only a fraction of its profits. The bitter truth behind this paradox is that the true wealth of the cocoa industry lies not in the beans themselves, but in the transformation of those beans into chocolate, a process that has long been controlled by multinational corporations in Europe and North America. But now the tide is turning. Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire are no longer content with being mere suppliers of raw materials. They are taking bold steps to redefine their role in the industry, and one of their most ambitious moves yet could change the global chocolate market forever. Before we dive deeper into today's update, take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Your support is key to helping us grow and reach more viewers like you. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss out on exciting updates. In 2018, Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire formalized their strategic alliance with the signing of the Abidjan Declaration, marking the beginning of a new era in cocoa politics. The creation of the Cote d'Ivoire-Ghana Cocoa Initiative, often likened to OPEC for oil, gave these two nations a unified voice to negotiate fairer prices, ensuring that their farmers received a larger share of the profits. One of their most significant achievements was the introduction of the Living Income Differential, a $400 per ton premium introduced in the 2020-2021 season to boost farmer earnings. But while price negotiations and sustainability measures have been at the forefront, a new vision is emerging, one that goes beyond pricing strategies and seeks to fundamentally alter the way cocoa is processed and marketed. Discussions are intensifying around the creation of a jointly operated chocolate factory, a game-changing initiative that could finally allow these nations to retain more of the industry's wealth. Although the project is still in its early stages, the momentum behind it is undeniable. Côte d'Ivoire, the world's largest cocoa producer, has already embarked on an aggressive expansion of its processing capabilities, aiming to grind up to 1 million tons of cocoa annually. Meanwhile, Ghana has increased its grinding capacity to 400,000 tons, encouraging local businesses to process more cocoa domestically. But a joint factory would take this strategy to the next level. By pooling resources, expertise, and market influence, Ghana and Côte d'Ivoire could establish a state-of-the-art facility capable of producing high-quality chocolate for both local and international markets. Possible locations include border regions for logistical efficiency or major economic hubs like Accra or Abidjan, both of which offer infrastructure and port access crucial for global distribution. The economic potential of such a factory is staggering. Despite producing over 70% of the world's cocoa, Africa currently accounts for just 1% of global chocolate production. A facility of this scale could create thousands of jobs, from factory workers and technicians to marketers and exporters, injecting millions of dollars into local economies. Côte d'Ivoire's cocoa industry already represents 40% of its total export income, yet it captures only a minuscule portion of the industry's overall wealth. Similarly, Ghana's farmers, who produce cocoa worth billions, see only a tiny percentage of the final chocolate market's revenue. By shifting from raw cocoa exports to value-added production, these nations could begin to change this narrative, positioning themselves not just as cocoa producers, but as major players in the global chocolate business. But the impact of a joint chocolate factory would extend far beyond economic gains. For years, cocoa farming in West Africa has been plagued by serious social and environmental challenges, including child labor and deforestation. The industry has faced mounting scrutiny, with reports estimating that 1.56 million children work in hazardous conditions on cocoa farms in Ghana and Côte d'Ivoire. By increasing local processing, these countries would have greater control over labor conditions and sustainability practices, ensuring that more profits are reinvested into farmer support programs. Furthermore, a factory built with green technology, perhaps powered by solar energy, following the example of Ghana's Fairafric chocolate factory, could serve as a model for sustainable cocoa production, reducing the industry's environmental footprint. Despite its immense promise, the road to a joint chocolate factory is not without its challenges. Infrastructure remains a critical issue. While Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire boast some of the most developed economies in West Africa, logistical bottlenecks could slow down progress. Ghana's highway network, including the bumpy N6 route connecting key economic zones, presents a hurdle for efficient transportation. Meanwhile, rural telecommunications infrastructure in Cote d'Ivoire remains underdeveloped, potentially complicating coordination between processing hubs and cocoa farms. Financing also poses a major question mark. Historically, local banks have been hesitant to fund large-scale industrial projects in the cocoa sector, favoring more traditional agricultural loans. However, with growing international support for value-added processing, institutions like the African Development Bank could play a crucial role in bridging the funding gap. Then there's the reaction from the global chocolate industry. When Ghana and Côte d'Ivoire introduced the Living Income Differential to secure better prices for their farmers, some multinational chocolate companies resisted, seeking ways to circumvent the new pricing structure by sourcing cocoa elsewhere. If these companies perceive the joint factory as a direct threat to their dominance, they could attempt to undercut its success, potentially lobbying for trade barriers or shifting supply chains to other cocoa-producing regions. Consumer preferences are evolving with a growing demand for ethically sourced, locally produced chocolate. This shift is evident in the success of African brands like 57 Chocolates and Fair Afrique, which have effectively marketed high-quality Ghanaian chocolate to international audiences. If the proposed joint factory aligns with this trend, positioning itself as a leader in ethical and premium chocolate production, it could tap into a lucrative and expanding market. International partnerships could further enhance the factory's viability. Major chocolate manufacturers such as Mars and Nestlé have already expressed support for sustainability initiatives, recognizing the necessity of a fairer cocoa trade in the long run. Collaboration with such industry leaders could provide vital technical expertise and investment, ensuring the factory meets global standards while maintaining strong African ownership and control. Additionally, the European Union, the world's largest cocoa importer, has reaffirmed its commitment to transforming the industry. Through its Sustainable Cocoa Initiative, the EU has pledged €25 million to support fair trade and value-added processing, funding that could be leveraged to advance the factory's development. As Ghana and Côte d'Ivoire mark over 5 years of strategic collaboration, the vision of a joint chocolate factory represents more than just an economic venture. It symbolizes a broader shift in Africa's relationship with global markets. For far too long, resource-rich nations across the continent have remained locked in a cycle of exporting raw materials while importing finished goods at a premium. Establishing this factory would be a significant step toward breaking that pattern, proving that Africa is not only a supplier, but also a manufacturer, an innovator, and a competitor in high-value industries. The world is watching. Should Ghana and Côte d'Ivoire succeed in bringing this factory to life, it could serve as a blueprint for other resource-rich African nations seeking to take greater control of their industries. The model could extend beyond cocoa, inspiring similar collaborations in coffee, gold, and petroleum refining. This initiative is about more than just chocolate. It is about reshaping economic history and ensuring that the very people who cultivate the world's most prized resources finally share in the wealth they generate. As of March 7th, 2025, the factory remains a vision rather than a confirmed reality. However, the momentum behind the project suggests that it may not be long before it materializes, and when that day arrives, the rich aroma of locally made chocolate will be more than just a delight to the senses. It will be a symbol of economic transformation, a testament to the power of African nations rising together to claim their rightful place in the global market.
If today is your first time watching this channel or you are returning to this channel for the exciting content, please subscribe to the channel for more educative and developmental projects across Ghana and Africa as a whole. Do you want to know about the state of a project in Africa? Then make sure to like and comment the name of the project you would like us to talk about and its current state.